We don't have the beginning thing, huh?
We already
Good
live. We ain't got no
morning.
intro.
We have
We
no
already
intro, huh?
live. We already
We
live. Good
live
morning,
in
gentlemen.
effect. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning
gentlemen. Live from the bunker.
from the
Another.
bunker and the beach
We
and the
got
mountains.
another. Say, go ahead and give it to us. Go ahead and give it to us, Mafia.
Yes, sir. And again, everyone, welcome to another amazing episode of the People's Rebuttal Podcast with your host Von Solo, my
Yes,
brother
sir.
Zach, and yourself and myself, Mafia the Reminder, man. Yeah, it's a beautiful day on a Friday. We got beach
Absolutely.
views. Yes, sir.
Man. One thing about the beautiful thing about summer, man, we get to take nice trips. You remember that? I really kind of hate that that our society has got away from one income households where you remember the dad used to be able to support everybody and we can still go on trips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Your dad had pension and all that and had tenure at the job and
Mm-hmm.
at least on TV, not in my neighborhood, but
He say on TV, not in my
yeah, that wasn't happening over
neighborhood. Of
here.
course it was.
Yeah, it wasn't happening over here. Our trips was going to go see our kin folks. And
No
what we
doubt.
weren't going we
No
weren't
doubt.
going to, Florida and stuff like that. We going to Mississippi. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what I'm saying? We was just excited to get in the car, but
There he
um,
is.
yeah, look at him.
Looking
Damn.
good out
You
there.
look like Tony Stark. Look at old Tony
I
Stark.
I told him. Look, we got Tony Starks in the building,
We
everybody.
got a damn celebrity on there.
Yeah. A couple of them.
Yeah. Got a doggone celebrity on there. Sure look nice out there.
Yeah, dude.
Mafia, you like you on a lineup. And he over here on a vacation.
Hey, boy. Look here. Ain't no numbers behind me.
No, sir. No, sir. You was saying the other day that you ain't never been to jail or nothing. Me either. I ain't trying to go either. I
No, I had.
I done been close. But I ain't been close. It's just some places I ain't meant for me to be at.
Yeah, I had a couple representatives of the justice system that showed me that it wasn't my cup of tea.
Oh man.
I thank you, brothers, for that.
Oh man.
And sisters, for that matter. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So Zach, where you at, buddy?
I'm in Port Aransas, Texas.
Port Aransas. I don't know why the hell I keep saying Fort.
Port
Yeah,
Aransas.
yeah.
Okay.
I never even. It's basically South Padres that way,
Okay.
And how
and
far is that?
Corpus Christi's that way. Corpus
Oh.
Christi's like right there. We actually ate dinner last night in Corpus Christi.
Okay.
I mean, South Padre's probably 2 hours that way.
Oh.
So, you know
Wow.
what that is, people. For all our beautiful, you know what I'm saying, listeners for this morning. Yeah, I'm confused right with you, but it's all good. And I thank y'all listeners for joining us this morning.
You're
Yeah,
confused?
never mind.
Oh,
It was a this way and a that way kind of thing. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, it don't matter.
from a
I know.
direction standpoint.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna know, but it's just
yeah,
making a
right?
point.
Yeah, he
One's
just
that way
pointed.
and the other one's that
He
way.
just pointed east.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. It's not like we know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, you're right about that.
Hey, it's
You're
all
right about.
good, though.
I was just trying to show you the beaches. Padre and Corpus Christi are connected. It'd be a long ass drive down that beach, though. You'd probably want to hop on the highway.
So when was the last time you took your? Well, can you remember the last time you took your kids on a vacation?
When they went to
I
Florida
mean, we went to
I'm
Disney.
talking about you, Mafia.
with
Oh,
me,
Yeah,
man, my youngest 23 years old. They
yeah,
went
I
to
know. But can you remember the last trip y'all took?
Yeah, it was during COVID. Me, my sons, and my sister and my wife all did a family trip to Miami, bro, and that was a trip that I have been looking for like 20 some years, where all the kids was over 21 and we can really. So, yeah, it was great. It was great. It was great.
Did they smoke Black and Miles with you?
Nah, I smoke my own Black and Miles. They smoke that other stuff that they smoke. I mean,
Oh, okay.
but
So it turned out pretty good, huh?
oh, it was amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? It was the dinner I wanted. It was the, oh man. So, you know, I had a driver. I got a driver friend. For anybody that go to Miami, South Beach area, I have a driver for you. He's amazing. But I had a driver, right? And so one day I'm like, okay, let's skip the drive and just rent scooters. And bro, we went into scooters for 24 hours, and that's what we did the whole day. It was off the hook, bro. Yeah, it was a great time.
Nice.
Great
Nice. I haven't been to Miami in a long time. Well, matter of fact, I mean, I'm not being funny, but last time I went to Miami, the Colts played or was it the Saints played the Bears, or was it the Colts played the Bears? It was the Colts played the Bears for the Super Bowl.
Oh, Super Bowl. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, and your boy Hester broke that thing in the first. I was like, they finna tear their ass up.
And then lost the motherfucking game.
And then lost the damn game. I'm
And that's
like,
still a
damn.
record. That's
And
a
it's
record.
still a record. That boy was bad.
Nobody gonna break that.
I don't think I don't know why he didn't get in first ballot.
Me either. But I mean, one of the biggest mistakes they made with Hester is making him a wide receiver. You know,
Hey,
trying
Zach,
to get the
really,
ball
Zach?
like that. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, Dave.
What's David
but
talking?
he's not gonna. I don't know what you talking about, David. But nobody's
'Cause
gonna
you on
break
the
the
beat?
record because they changed the kickoff rule.
Right. They did that.
Oh, right.
They did that to stop the collisions. Stop the collisions. But I mean,
But it
so what do y'all feel about the rule changes?
I'm fine. What's the new? I don't know. What are the new rule changes?
Well, I'm just saying the ones that we know of thus far from last year.
I mean, I'm fine. I kind of agree with the kickoff rule. It was funny because Kenny was that's what he played on defense or on special teams was kicking the ball off, and it's a lot of slamming and going.
Yeah.
A lot of teams now are using the algorithm or run the ball out and keep going. Obviously, if it goes, the majority of them go through the end zone. The one thing I do like that I think the NFL should pick up is that the football from the XFL or from USFL, they got an electronic marker in them now.
Word.
Yeah, so the USFL has a chip inside of the football,
Okay.
and it tells where the ball lands. So you don't have to guess, like, well, where does it look? I mean, you find out where his knee's at, then it'll tell you what the marker is. No more pulling them fucking cards out of your pocket, to see
To measure, see if it's.
Yeah, what the fuck? But
Yeah.
one of the things about
That shit would happen against the Raiders.
Well, and one of the things they found, and it's great that the USFL, it's one of the reasons I think the NFL should kind of participate with them, because they found out that field goal attempts, you couldn't use that ball. They were trying to use the same ball. Who's flushing the toilet in the background?
I'm sorry, that's my lawn guy.
Hey man, we got to get stuff done on Fridays early in the morning. He up. They got to make their money too. You know what I'm saying?
So they had the football, and so they stopped using the football with the chip in it, and found out that the field goal percentage went up 90%. So
Say that one more time.
So they were using the same footballs that had the chips in them to kick field goals, and all these dudes were missing field goals. And so they took out they started giving them the footballs without the chip into them, and field goals went up 90%.
Ain't that a bitch?
I wonder.
But
if
it's great.
them
It's
ability
that
to control the football.
Nah, but it was a great test thing for something like that, because why doesn't the NFL use a football with a chip in it?
Yeah.
Being that they so caught up in analytics,
Yeah.
that you would think that they would want all the analysis that they can get,
Yeah.
Well, in
But
chop blocks, I'm glad those are gone. I mean, there's no
oh,
reason
most
for
definitely.
that.
Most definitely.
Yeah, yes
mean,
and no.
Yes and no.
Yeah,
So from an
yes and no. I mean, some chop blocks are fucking illegal. Some of them are legal within inside of the box. Anytime you got somebody who's not blocking 95% of the time and they try to perform a block, it's going to be 100, probably 95% wrong because they're not doing it on a consistent enough basis. But as far as linemen, there is no fucking way in hell Aaron Donald would have all those sacks right now if they was letting guys chop too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you use to take the steam out of people that bull rush. For guys who can't stop a bull rush, especially now that you've now narrowed the gap between the size of offensive linemen and defensive linemen. They're close in weight now, so it's like if you got two guys that's close in weight and you got one guy backing up and the other guy pushing, and we almost the same weight, you're going to have a harder time stopping the guy with a full head of steam because we're almost the same weight, if you dig what I'm saying. But if I'm 50, 60 pounds heavier than you, or 70 or 80 or maybe even 100 in some cases, you pushing me and we meet force with force, I can stop you a lot easier. And so now we've taken out the neutralizer, which is the chop block, and we line on guys that are almost close or similar in size and stature to play against each other. What's happening is you're getting a lot more penetration in the backfield now.
From the inside scoop of a veteran offensive lineman. Yeah,
I'm just telling you, brother. I'm just telling you, baby. It's physics, man.
Oh.
If you backing up and if somebody's running at you and you backing up and they pushing you, I don't know how long it's gonna take you to stop that. You have to meet force with force. You got to find some type of way to get that backwards motion going forward right now. You're gonna have to meet him somewhere. If he catches you while you backing up and his hands on you while you backing up, you're going to have a hell of a time stopping that fucking train. I promise you will.
I get it.
Especially if you're the same, almost 20, 30 pounds of difference, and you add all the strength and explosion these guys got now, you're going to have a hell of a time. And let me tell you where you're going to be: on somebody's lap. You're going to be on the quarterback's legs. That's where you're going to be at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it, bro. And that's a great point, talking about all the force and the physics of it, because I wanted to say earlier, I think that that kickoff return, that was a great rule change, because, man, you take guys running 4.9s, and I'm just throwing out an average, 40-yard dash, and they 230 pounds plus, man, and you pull all that G-force together, and just think about all the gentlemen who has these head conditions, CTE, injuries for whatever, you know what I'm saying, and other parts of the body. I think that was a great rule to readjust. Suck it up.
Now, but you're right, man. You're right. I think when you're in it, because we're so used to seeing it and being in it, that we didn't find it a problem while I was playing, But you think about it. You got middle return, you got return left, you got return right. Middle return was the most popular. Okay, and stay with me now. So when you got a kickoff team, you're not putting your small 4.9. I'm sorry, you're not putting your small 4.5, 4.6, 4.4, 4.3 guys in the middle. They're on the outsides.
Yeah.
Guess who on the inside? Linebacker. No. I'm talking about on the kickoff return. The kickoff team that's running down.
Yeah.
You got linebackers on the inside, 250, 260, and some of those guys running 4.3s and 4.4s, and they coming full speed down the middle of the field, right? And on the middle return, on the flip side of that, on the return team, doing a middle return, you have linemen that you have out there performing a wedge in the middle to help take away, that explode. You're supposed to come in and really wedge those guys out. Those two guys that's in the middle that's running down,
In the middle, yes,
they coming down to blow up. They call wedge busters.
yes.
And so that you already know that's probably the loud. Well, you know that it's probably the loudest and hardest collision all day. And it's not fun to be on the receiving end or the giving end of that. So them scooting up the ball on the kickoff team to try to eliminate those collisions was smart because you have a lot of guys that don't suffer from that.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think about the long-term effects, man. You know what I'm saying? When you got, these gentlemen, they've retired and you hear about, all the mental problems or the head conditions that they have that has affected their whole equilibrium, can't walk, limps, all this kind of stuff. That's the part where I think it was most beneficial, man. You know what I'm saying? For life after the league.
And that is what it's beneficial. I see the old cigars there. Look at that.
All right, Zach.
Zach look like he had some. Zach, you got some. Zach, you got your fingernails painted? What's that?
He said painted.
What?
What you got on your fingernail? Oh, that's a.
Oh yeah, whacked it with the hammer.
Oh my goodness! Not a blood clot.
Yep.
What the blood clot?
Not the blood clot. Okay, you got your cigars, the sticks of choice. I look like. Let me see if I can call those out from back here. I see some fat bottom betties.
Yeah, I see them.
I see two fat bottom betties. I see. It looks like
whole leatherwood.
that's a brick house. Is that a brick house?
Where?
That right there, the blue ones.
That one?
Yeah, what is that?
Leatherwood.
That's another Betty.
Yeah, that's
Oh, fat bottom Betty. Well, you like? It's safe to say he likes the fat bottom Betties.
No, I
Zach
don't smoke them.
Bring them to me, Zach.
No, we got a man for Dermo.
Okay, nice, nice. That's a brick house.
Yeah.
I told you, I seen it. I seen a brick house in there. I thought I seen what's the company? Is it Acid?
Aston.
Acid.
That's it.
Is it the acid that makes the
They make a lot of flavors.
yeah, what's the acid? Yeah, it was acid. This one they make this not the Underground.
Yep.
Okay.
Man, that lets you know I'm smoking, don't it, Mafia?
There you go.
Another Perdomo, that's Monte Cristo.
It's called
That's
Experience.
that's the true Cuban.
Okay.
Oh, Michelle. Oh, Mike. Mike say
Good morning, Mike Poindexter. What's happening, Muscle Mike?
Baby. To all our listeners again, I thank you all for joining us this morning. And I pray y'all have an amazing Friday as well as your weekend.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us on another Organic Friday. When we letting things just roll naturally, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, and
Like the
to all our
waves.
to all our listeners as well, if y'all have something y'all want us to chop it up about, man, please throw it in the comments, man. Let us know what's going on in y'all lives. Things that run across y'all mind lately. We'd love to invite your mind to the podcast.
Man, y'all had a nice little, those rule changes have made a significant change. Yeah, pool party,
weekend.
NBA. I'm ready to roll, baby. I'll be there bright and early too tomorrow too. I'll be
Hey,
at
Mike,
that.
can I come through tonight about 3 a.m. so I can set up early?
That's the wrong Mike. That's Muscle Mike. That's not pool party Mike.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Muscle.
No, this Muscle Mike right here. Muscle Mike. He's got the body. He's got the body that all of us strive to have.
Say no more.
Not to throw out his age or nothing. He look better than all of us. He got more muscles than all of us.
Hey,
Does
Mike,
he look
I'm gonna
like
go do
Ed?
some push-ups between the day and the month.
Yeah, he like Ed. Yeah. Make you feel bad. Anytime you walk around with a pair of Speedos on, brother, you got to be pretty damn confident.
So
Okay, we got.
so
Go
hold
ahead.
on. So
Go
David,
ahead.
Did they actually overturn Roe v. Wade, or do we think they're gonna? I mean, they're gonna overturn Roe v. Wade and riots this weekend. I mean, so it is overturned, right? That's my question.
Roe versus Wade.
Did that? I know they did. So they ruled on gun control yesterday and basically said New York's law of conceal and carry is breaking federal law. Oh, it was announced this morning, so they overturned it. I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean, I
yeah, they just did it.
I somewhat, there's an agree and disagree with me. The agree is it's up to the states and your elected officials to whether it stands or doesn't stand. I think one of the biggest problems with Roe v. Wade, and everybody said Roe v. Wade made law, and it didn't. Roe v. Wade was a precedent that was basically if any case that's put before the Supreme Court is always the exact same case comes before us, this is going to be our ruling. So, and the violation of that, obviously violating that ruling, but it wasn't. It's up to Congress and Senate, and it's up to them to make a law whether they want to legalize abortion or not. They need to quit. They need to quit fucking acting as if it goes to the Supreme Court, it becomes law. It's not. It's not the way it works. All that the Supreme Court does is enforce the laws in place. They don't make laws.
And Roe versus Wade said that what was the rule for? Is it saying was it legalizing abortions?
It set a precedent of the legalization of abortions, which as of today, that means Texas, you're going to have all these trigger laws that now go into place. That's the big thing now. It's all these laws, all these state laws like Texas, Mississippi, all these. But remember, there's still more cases in front of the Supreme Court.
So it was the right to have an abortion. Everybody you have the right to have one if you want one. So them overturning that means what? That
every state gets to create their own laws, either making abortion illegal or legal. But that's not just it. There's trigger laws that as soon as they announced that, those laws went into effect.
Yeah. Okay. So is it legal in Texas with the triggers as of now? Do we know?
As of right now, it is now illegal in Texas.
Illegal in Texas
to have a fucking abortion.
So what if a woman in Texas, and say for instance, and I'm just saying hypothetically because I don't know for sure. Say Oklahoma, it's legal, and this Texas citizen or resident goes to Oklahoma. They're good?
Yep. Can't do anything about it. You just can't have it in Texas.
Okay.
Unless somebody creates it as a murder law, and which I don't think anybody's going to do that.
Now
they would have to create it as a murder law, which then you could just never go back to Texas.
Well, you better watch where you put your wee-wee.
And man, it's bigger than that to me, man. Because like again, I reserve, what I'm saying, my rights as a human being. And for someone to tell me through legislation what to do with my own body, bro, I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Who are we, again, to tell a woman? You know what I'm saying? Now, I know there's all kind of dynamics in this. But again, to make legislation about my body and what I have to do and what I can't do with my body, I have a huge problem with that, man. And that's just me personally.
Well, and so now I can promise you this. Now that Roe v. Wade has been basically overturned, I can promise you now the next presidential campaign, this is going to be a massive topic. Gun control, which, they passed. It was funny, and it was all over the news this morning. They literally expanded, and it looks like it's going to pass both houses, gun legislation, and then simultaneously the Supreme Court ruled against New York about conceal and carry. It was actually pretty funny. But
Wait,
I don't. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Zach. I'm sorry. Pardon the interruption. I do
No, no,
apologize.
no. Go ahead. You got
No, so I just wanted to understand. So New York, you cannot conceal and carry.
correct.
All right. So what
But now
about
you
just
can.
you can conceal and carry in New York? Okay, because I was
No,
about
no,
to
no, no,
ask.
no, 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 no. You didn't hear me. You can now. When the Supreme Court ruled yesterday, they said that New York didn't have the right to tell people they couldn't, which I
Right.
think is
So they can
bullshit.
now. So they can now, and that's what I'm saying because I remember, years ago, it was a big thing just to have. They had a law just to have a handgun, like you know, the Plexico Burris thing when he shot himself. You know what I'm saying? Like he,
That's
it's one thing
bull.
to shoot yourself and all that, but just him having a handgun was a breaking of the law. On
Right.
having a handgun, you know
Correct.
what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It is what it is.
And then they just passed expanded background checks. They just
Okay,
passed. They
good.
passed a few things.
What
Um,
about that red flag law that they had?
there are
Supposedly had.
incentives. Yep, there are incentives for red flag laws now. Yeah, I mean, quite a few things just happened where these things are now. It's. I don't think it's enough. I don't believe that it's. I don't know. I believe you have a right to own a gun, but I don't believe that you have the right to. I don't think anybody needs. They didn't address having assault rifles. They didn't raise the age of owning an assault rifle.
What about purchasing?
Nope, they can
Because that
still
was
do it.
at 18 years old.
Yep, they didn't fix that. Um,
What about
they
handguns?
did this. No, nope. Well, yeah, you got to be 21 to own a handgun.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
always been. And it's not right. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Um, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But they just did it so that they can go back and say, look at what we did. And people are stupid enough not to actually look and go, yeah, but you didn't address this, this, or this.
Right.
You guys have failed on all these different things. And
Sure did. Sure did. We have as a society become our conflict resolution skills are fucking terrible. And yeah, man, this guy. I mean, like I'm just tapping into what Mike's saying here. Dude pulled out a gun at fucking Dave Buster's on 75 and killed somebody inside Dave Buster's.
which I believe he's gonna get in pretty big trouble for that because I don't think you're allowed to have guns in places where alcohol is served.
You're not supposed to, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you're. I don't think you. I think it's illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal. Yeah, it's illegal to carry. I mean, well, I know it's pretty harsh when you have a license. When you license to carry it in there. But if you open carrying or whatever, or what you call it, not open carrying, but
Conceal and carry.
concealing and carrying it, I don't know if
Yeah,
the
TABC
laws
law.
are steep. Yeah, but I don't know if it's stiffer for somebody that has a license versus somebody that doesn't.
It doesn't. It does not matter. You are not.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
you know
Okay.
what? David worked, so we'll see what David says. But I don't believe it makes a
It is
difference.
illegal.
David worked at the House of Blues forever. Kim was big time in GM for Saver and a bunch. So there's no difference. So there it is.
Yeah,
there
no
is
difference.
that. See,
Good
it's a
job.
great topic. We let people
Good
do
job,
it.
Dave.
David has like very good knowledge of it. So yeah, I mean it doesn't matter if you can have a license, not a license, but you're not allowed to have a gun inside a place that serves alcohol, TABC. So he's got now the question is, did the other guy have a gun? Was it self-defense?
Regardless.
I mean regardless he's going to get in trouble. Like you have instances where people do things where what you did was legal, but how you did it was illegal.
Yes.
Right.
You
And I was
know,
just trying to touch. I'm sorry. Go
you
ahead, Zach. I do apologize.
if it's true and the guy was attacking him with a knife and he shot him, he's not going to get charged with murder, but he's still going to have to answer for having a gun inside of,
Yes.
illegally.
Yes. And I was,
Plexico Burris didn't get charged with assault on himself or shooting himself,
he got
but
shot
he
with
wasn't
possession.
allowed to have it. Right, he got charged with possession because he wasn't allowed
Yes.
to have the gun.
Yes. And as a licensed, licensed to carry, individual myself, if you guys pay attention to a lot of these restaurants, and as David said, alcohol is served, but even places that don't serve alcohol, if you see that 30.06 or 30.07 that Mike mentioned, 06 is conceal, 07 is open carry. Yeah, you're not supposed to have a gun in these establishments. That's what that statute and law is.
Will that be posted out in the front?
Yes, sir. It's on the door of every
So you saying this number that Mike has on it, 006?
Yeah, so it's 30.06 or
Oh.
30.07.
Okay.
And 06 is conceal, 07 is open carry. But
Oh.
most establishments have that. It may be big, some whatever, but if you see that 30.06 or 07, it's typically saying that you're not allowed to have a handgun in these establishments.
Absolutely. I would think that most places would have that now.
Yeah.
Well, and
That was-
there's a whole nother tier to this as well. Discharging a firearm if he was intoxicated, discharging a
nother.
firearm while intoxicated is a whole nother law. So now you weren't supposed to have the gun. If they breathalyzed him and found out he had some drinks, that's a whole nother. You're just piling things on top of it.
And Zach, I'd like to add to that as well, because premeditation, the fact that you left out of an establishment to go and get this vehicle, came back into this establishment, man, he just wrong all over the board. You know what I mean? But again, that human mind, the feelings and emotions, like I say, it's my field of reminder, control your mind, control your world. Because if you don't, some person, place, thing, or situation will. And it ain't no gray area, man.
And in this case, it's situational now. Because now
Situation.
Yeah,
Not situation, Bond said
Situation.
situation.
it's
That's
situation.
a whole nother.
Whole
There's
nother.
a situation that we have to deal with, and then there's the situation that.
Well, it was situational when he went into Dave and Buster's. Now it's a situation. Now you done did that.
Situation.
Now you finna get your booty played with now. Or what we call, AKA, the booty house. You go to the booty house of pancakes. Now that's where he going. You done gave up your life because, in the words of Franklin from Snowfall, because you didn't like what another motherfucker said.
Come on, man.
Control yourself. Mafio, how you say it again?
Mafio, the reminder. My
Yeah.
motto is control your mind, control your world. Because if you don't, some person, place, thing, or situation will.
Okay.
Not a gray area.
And in his case, some person with a thing is going to make a situation in the Booty Bandit University. Booty Bandit, BBB, BBU.
Nothing about it.
Me neither, and I ain't trying to learn. I don't know if you know somebody. What about Unc? What Unc say about that stuff that's happening down there? He probably stay away from that.
I'm sorry, Booty Bandit University.
Booty Bandit University, aka the booty house to the street level people. Yeah, the booty house. Yeah,
And for the uninformed, they're talking about the Department of Justice jails.
Okay. Yeah, that's Roe versus Wade there. At its best. Roe versus Wade. So yeah. You do something like that, you've now lost every bit of freedom that you've ever had. And I don't get it. I don't think people are just really thinking things through on the back end. We just handling things for what's happening right now and how we feel right now. And I don't know if there's any excuse for that as a grown person. Did I do that?
No.
Did you put that on there?
What?
Did you select the? Well, I did it, but I'm just saying. Yeah, yeah. There was speaking of situations. There was a guy. I was watching a feed the other day, and there was a guy who shot a store. I'm sorry, shot and killed a restaurant owner. They gave him 40 years in prison. And while they were, and those words was hitting heavy as that judge got to saying, you know, quoting those charges to him. Yeah. Well, he got the rocket in that seat. He hit him with that party. Woo! That thing started at home. He got the rocket. Man, this is some bullshit. I'm like, it's too late now.
And Chad, just for myself and the listeners, so what actually happened with this situation? Like a person went into a store to kill it, you know, if you can.
I guess they plan to rob this guy or the owner. No. They planned on they planned on I guess robbing the restaurant, and they came in with guns and they was going to shoot one of the owner's employees. The owner jumped in front of one of the employees to save the employee, and he got killed. And so they had this guy's killer on trial, and you know, of course, I seen the back end of it when they was giving the sentence out, and man, them words was hitting heavy every time he said guilty of this, guilty of that. He said this follows with a 40-year sentence here, and another one tacked on with it. The run concurrently. That boy got the rocket like he was in the front seat in church. I said, and he started seeing them tears in that mouth. This some bullshit. I was like,
Hey, Von, do we know what state this occurred in?
No, I don't.
We don't. Okay.
I don't. It just made me think about it. It made me think about it when we said, you know, when people decide to carry these handguns into places, or you know, I understand when we carry them on us why we're doing it, but you know, you have to have a whole lot of awareness and cultural training too. You have to be culturally aware because, you know, if you're in places where you don't know how people move, and you're not around people a lot, anything can trigger you. You know, you can trigger you. And I think some people carry it. They already got this mentality once you're carrying it that, you know, you done already somewhat vaguely in your mind, made up in your mind that I'm going to stop somebody if something happens. And sometimes I think we pull those guns way prematurely. And, you know, we're more apt to go to the gun rather than try to talk shit out. You know what I'm saying? So, I got guns. I don't even like touching mine because I don't know. I'm just not a gun person, but I think we're limited in our options once we start carrying them. That's kind of final, you know. It's like if something happening, and some of us are carrying these things with a little bit of aggression on us at the same time, is what I'm saying.
And you know, speaking from a psychological perspective, which the way my mind operates, we talked about prior. You mentioned like for licensed gun owners that are registered, things of that nature. Once you put this weapon in your possession, like going out into public, you already, as you said, have made up in your mind, not that I'm going to kill someone, but it's not out of the question. You understand what I'm saying? And I think we had a conversation, Von, in the past where, you know, we go out to places and, you know, not that things happen, but I just always mindful. This is the way I think. I have mindful thoughts and purposeful thoughts. And I had to realize what was the purpose of me carrying my handgun. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made me come to the realization of that conversation we had. And I literally stopped carrying it because I'm mindful. Like at worst, man, I just try to stay away from those type of environments. But I don't even want to be put in a predicament or situation to have to shoot nobody. You know
Nah,
what I mean?
nah, man. I feel
Yeah,
you,
but
man.
you got these fools in Chicago just shooting people going down the highway.
Yeah, that's
I
all
mean,
over the
that's
country though.
but
That ain't
no, no,
just
no. You know,
Chicago.
Chicago. One of the biggest mistakes I think Chicago ever made was the police chief announced and said flat out, "It's way too hard to figure out who did the shooting when they're driving down the highway." It's like, oh, so wait a minute, I can shoot people on the highway because it's harder for you to find them. You know, they had that. I was there the day after they had that shootout in the two cars driving, where they
Hmm.
shot everybody but each other.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
dude on the bike, an Uber driver, and some lady walking down the street.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, and you're going to tell people it's hard for us to solve that crime. Oh well, shit. Now I know where to shoot people. Go to the highway and do it.
And
But
then, but think about it. Like, um, when the governor here in Texas, I mean, like the day he said you don't have to have a license to carry a gun anymore, that week, bro, I heard about at least 3 to 4 shootings on the highway. You know what I mean?
right.
Think about there was another situation with the shooting on the
Well,
highway that I can't think about right now,
so
but
but I do want to again go back to the lady, the guy who was speeding through the apartment complex. They told him to slow down. I mean, we're talking. He comes back with a gun. She shoots him before he can shoot anybody. There's your conceal and carry and your reason for it, because there's always some dumbass that's gonna, go home, get butt hurt, and she got him before he started killing people.
mhm,
There are good instances of people who conceal and carry with the right reason and the right purpose. And then you have everybody who now they got bigger balls because they can carry a gun. If you're
right.
carrying a gun because it gives you bigger balls, you got a problem.
And
Right.
I think about it again from a psychological aspect. When I took the actual conceal and carry class, it opened my mind up to be mindful of certain situations and instances and repercussions of shooting someone. And I say that was so beneficial because, like that lady that you said that just prohibited it, a gentleman that was speeding, it puts those things in perspective. It makes you mindful of these kind of things. It's kind of like, what was it? Oh, I took a driving class online, right? And it was to lower my insurance, all this kind of stuff. But taking this class made me aware or exposed me to different type of scenarios of drivers and things on the street, and it changed my driving personality and how I drive. Like, I do the speed limit, maybe a little bit over, but I'm always looking at these people around me, my environment. You know what I'm saying? Giving um, you know, being mindful that there's a big truck or so many trucks or even motorcycles and how far in front of trucks to start my progress to get over. Making sure I use my signal lights, things of that nature. Most of these people that's out here with these guns, man, they have no idea. They don't even think about any repercussion, consequences, and things of that nature, and they just go and, like we said, acting off their feelings and emotions because somebody made them mad, pissed them off, disrespected them, whatever. In my mind, those are things that you have to allow to happen to you. But again, I have experience and exposure that others don't. But this is the operating system of society that we in, bro. You know what I mean?
So everyone should take a class, should be a requirement,
I
just like
agree.
fucking driving. I don't know
I
why you
learned a
get in
lot
a
taking that
car.
class.
I learned
What?
so much.
I
Driving
learned a lot
class?
taking the concealed handgun class. I learned a lot.
But
I
but
learned a
why is
lot,
it a
but
requirement? I mean,
it
hell,
should
I'm
be a
scared to
requirement. I
drive
think
now
it
because
is
I'm
because
getting
you
high
learn a
speed.
lot. You learn a lot about laws that you absolutely have no idea about. How to handle yourself when approached by police. If you get stopped in a traffic stop, stuff that that you wouldn't have known it had I not taken that course.
Hmm.
And it just teaches you how to really just how to function in society on day to day normal routine stuff. Traffic stops are fucking routine. Going into restaurants is routine. So I think if you're going to be carrying something that serious, yeah, you should go to class for that. not just, because I need to protect myself, I can carry it wherever. No, you need to learn how to carry and know what's the consequences and when not, to carry that thing and what to do in certain situations.
Yeah. And I think a word that we could just term this as what you just said, Vaughn, is awareness, man. Just a lot of people just aren't aware. It's
Mm-mm.
just, and most importantly, it's not so much of society and situations. A lot of people isn't aware of themselves. They don't know themselves. And for any of you that think you have problems and things of that stuff out there, contact my field of reminder, Mind Coach. I can help you show you that the only problem that I've ever had in my life was myself. And most of the time it was because the lack of awareness and knowledge. And once I learned that, I learned to control myself. And now there's not too much out here that can control me. Why I can't control myself? Because I'm aware of me.
And and just to kind of tag on to that from the earlier part of the conversation, with them allowing young people to handle rifles at 18, and even if you're 21, a lot of us are so intellectually immature and spiritually immature at that age and very emotional. You're putting weapons in the hands of people like that. You know what I mean? That are easily swayed at that age, easily to follow, your emotions at that age.
Well, they're
And
coming into adulthood. Life is
yeah,
changing. It's a
yeah,
huge change going from, a teenager. Once you hit 18, the world changes because, now I have responsibilities. There's things I have to do. I got to go to college or get a job or do this. And, you see these things, and half the time, I don't think we're doing enough to deal with bullies in schools. And, you won't pick on these people and they turn 18 years old. Next thing you know, they can come there and start capping a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
yeah.
again, and this isn't to justify an 18-year-old having an assault rifle, but as Mike said, it comes back to awareness. Once you are aware of something and you're conscious to it, it can revolve or it changes your whole mindset at it. You know what I mean? Like,
You're not even finished growing yet.
yeah, but at the
Are you
same time, an
serious?
18-year-old can be that mature. I know I was at
Yeah, you
18 years old.
can. You can. But look at all the other elements to help form you at that age, Mafia. You still had your grandparents. You still had a good village of people in the neighborhood who told you right from wrong to help reinforce what you was going through in your house. We got kids now that are coming through, and we always have coming through broken homes. But not only that, they coming through broken homes with no belief system in them at all. And you thinking that, there's no thought process to, hey, what if I do this? Or, what punishment comes to doing this? Or, if you're religious, will I be punished by God? They're not even thinking of no stuff like that. And so you taking these same kids at that age without that upbringing and that support system and asking them to make logical decisions uh, that don't have any moral aspect to them at all.
Yeah. But I'd like to throw this tag on that as well. Again, it's not just 18-year-olds that's making these type of choices and decisions. You understand what
No.
I'm saying? And I think like this awareness thing, it's either two sides of it. You're either aware or you unaware. And because of your unawareness, when a person feels like they run out of options, and I feel running out of options means that you're just ignorant, you don't know. And that's not ignorant in a demeaning way, it's just a lack of knowledge or without
Right.
knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
because we don't know ourselves first and foremost, which is a lack of knowledge, it's hard to understand a lot of other situations. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all my friends because y'all, and if tell me if I'm wrong, y'all respect the way I control myself in any environment, wherever we go, in the country, out the country, vacation, business room, podcast, whatever. I really would have to say, if I had to guess, y'all respect me because of the way I control me, and that control allows me to control my environment. If we
You
go
don't
out,
want to go nowhere with nobody who can't control themselves.
you see what I'm saying?
Period. And so,
Period.
yes, that would be a definite yes. Yeah, I respect the way you guys you know, your thought processes. You know what I mean? And then, you know, I think the older you get, or you know, you learn at very early age what type of people you like to surround yourself with, and
For
whether
sure.
whether or not you need to make uh, adjustments or not. I need people around me who think
Oh,
about consequences and think ahead and think more so of troubleshooting rather than, and be solution oriented
yes,
rather than
yes,
complaining. You know,
yes.
um, you know that, and I need people around me who have some intellectual maturity. You
Yes.
know, all that loose cannon shit. I'm not babysitting, dude. I'm just saying. I think I got all the nurturing out of me right now. It's like I don't want any more pets. I'm not feeding no motherfucking dog. I'm not doing that shit. I'm just not. I'm not. I'm waiting for my kids to get grown. Then I got one. You know, they still on the brink. I got something that's 20. You know, young 20, late teens. And I got one in high school, man. I said, man, look here, man. Look, I'm about to. Ain't no more titty feed and Gerber put spoon in your mouth. We not doing that.
Yes,
It's
sir.
like, yeah, man. And so, you know, and I hold them accountable, but damn sure my grown friends. It's
Oh,
like,
most
nah,
definitely.
man, we not going nowhere. You can't control yourself. I'm not going nowhere with nobody who when we pick a fight, you going out picking fights. It's like, nah, that's that's my worst is you know, Plaxico Burris shooting himself. But I seen them. I actually seen the show when he did an interview about that.
Who was that again, Ron?
No, I was talking about Plaxico Burris when he accidentally shot
Oh,
himself.
Plexico. Yeah.
Plaxico, and I'm just saying, I'm just making a comparison, but I'm just, yeah, man, I'm just not in the mood to be babysitting. So I believe you, me, I appreciate and respect uh, your ability to control yourself and your thought process, and not only in you, in all of my friends and people that I consider friends and people that's close around, because you're not gonna have to worry about me getting out of fucking control. That's for damn sure.
And there it is. And
Yeah,
and you know, as individuals, you know, we literally have a superpower. We have many superpowers, and one of them is the power to control your friends or your environment, the power to control who you're gonna date, who you marry, things of that nature. But
man, great point.
it takes
Great
some
point.
things, it takes some knowledge and some awareness to
Of
be
self
able to
first too.
of self, to know
Of
what you like,
self.
what you want to
Yeah,
deal with, what you gonna deal with, what you not gonna deal with. You know what I'm saying? All these things are details that can be taken into account to say, you know what, as much as I like your appearance, young lady, as much as I love your energy, there's this one small thing that I don't think I want to sign up for the rest of my life with. And it's okay to say that and be a friend and not marry. You understand what I'm saying? And it's the same aspect as with friends, as with jobs, as we mentioned. You don't like your job, go get another job. You know what I'm saying? Now I know you can. It's not that easy with a wife, but if you're putting yourself in a position,
it is that easy. You got to know yourself first.
yeah,
And you know, and what's so ironic about that? I was watching TV and I had a um, conversation quite recently about, you know, people just making bad choices. Particularly, I was talking about women making bad choices and men. I'm like, why should you choose
right.
him? It's
Hmm.
like you know, some of my friends make bad choices. They have some of my friends that, you know, that so happen to be women. You know, in some of these shows you watch, you know, you look at some of the women that have a hard time finding somebody it's like, look at the choices that you're making, and look at the guys that you're choosing. I just don't think, and not to judge anybody else, but if somebody's going through a lot, going through a lot and got a lot of things going on, and you add yourself into the equation, I think some women just feel like they can fix up people and find them a fixer upper.
And it's not just women, but I feel you, bro. Yeah.
Right.
So, and I realized, and I'm glad you said that. Find a fixer upper. I realized something about 20. No, it had to be about 20 years ago, 15 or 20 years ago. I realized I cannot change a human being. I cannot control a human being. And that was from just having an interaction with my oldest son at 12 years old, trying to get him to understand something in life. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm going to stop telling people things. I'll share information. I'll lend recommendations. But man, people have to go through what they have to go through, man. And I trust they process, Bob.
Yeah.
People listening, I trust they process. I let them go.
And you can't cheat them out that process.
And I'm not trying to be attached to that process a lot of times.
Yeah. You can't cheat nobody. You can't cheat nobody out of that process either. No matter how much you want to try to head off at the pass and tell your kids this, they still either they're going to learn from watching, or they're going to learn from going through watching and listening, or going through it actually themselves, and they're going to go through it themselves with their mindset, not yours. And they're entitled to their growth and learning process just as you were. Our job is just to guide and give advice here and there, but we at the end of the day we can't control them,
and we can't make the choices. So.
No, we can't. But I tell you this, I can make some rules over this motherfucker. I'll tell you that. How about that?
I'm trying to told you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. These fixer uppers. Yeah, but like you said, it all goes back to one thing: knowing knowledge of self and knowing who you are, and better understanding, and that's a process in itself too. That's a process. Learning yourself is a process, and you have to put time into personal development just as much as you do professional development. We can't just think that we're already finished products when we come into a relationship or we get a new job. You're always constantly learning, and you have to be open to that learning, and be open to that learning and making and acknowledging mistakes and get better from those aspects. So people should be required to get these gun licenses. You should be required to take that class, because you have a big responsibility when you're carrying a weapon, not only to protect yourself, but to protect yourself from others, or potentially protect somebody else that might be getting bullied, or their life might be on the line.
Yep, 100%.
I totally agree. And again, a precursor to all that kind of stuff is, again, self-awareness. If you're not familiar with what ticks you off or make you mad or make you have the feeling of disrespect, there it is. But then again, and I'm sorry, bear with me, the lawnmowers are getting close. I don't want to disrupt the podcast.
Yeah, we get it.
But again, and my field of reminder as a licensed mindfulness coach, I teach individuals how to be mindful of themselves to the point where slowing down your mind, relaxing through breathing techniques and mind techniques. Now, instead of being disrespected, I can teach you how to be in touch with your body to when your body feels tense, pressure, when you're not in a relaxed state. That is a precursor to being upset or causing anger or feeling disrespected, and I think if a lot of people undergo this type of awareness that I provide, it will save them so much energy, so much time in their life. You know what I mean? It cut down on massages, because we like rubber bands, bro. We go through life and you know, a rubber band, when you're in your relaxed state and you slow your mind down, it's like a rubber band in one hand. But we live our life like a rubber band in two fingers, and we being stretched so far apart, all this tension at some point is gonna snap because we run out of options. Like people going to an establishment to have fun, food and drinks, and you go to your car and get a gun. For someone to ride
All
on
right.
the highway and shoot at someone while you're driving. I'm sorry, go ahead, Zach. I didn't mean to take up all the time. I just
No.
wanted to
Speaking
share.
of running out of options, we've run out of time. You like that,
Yeah,
man? We
great
appreciate it,
segue. Great
guys.
segue. Yes, thank you all for joining us here on the People's Rebuttal Podcast. Again, as always, we love your input, your participation. Don't ever hesitate to share all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to pause right now, but Vaughn, let them know where they can find us, baby.
Find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Like and subscribe, baby. Continue to comment and share and all that good stuff. Like and subscribe, like we say, and join the group, man. And we on every Tuesday and Friday at 9 a.m.
There you go. All right, guys.
And
We'll
with
see
that
y'all
being
later.
said, have a great weekend. I see y'all at the pool party.
Yeah,
whoever's
Zach.
ready, and if not,